In today's video I'm going to show you how to load an Olympus Trip 35 and I'm going to show you how all the different dials and buttons work on this amazing film camera. I've been using this film camera for over 2 to 3 years now and it's my go-to film camera. I love the photos that come out of it, the simplicity of it is really easy to use, and yeah, it's a great camera to just take around whenever you're going around the streets or with your family or friends. I'm going to be loading a Kodak ColorPlus 200 into my Olympus Trip and I'm going to show you how that works. To start off, we're going to be opening the latch to load the camera here. This film I got from Analog Wonderland. It's the first time I've ordered film from there. Before we start, I'm just going to pull this up here so we can then slot the film inside. We then want to make sure that we pull a bit of this film that we can tuck into here. We want to make sure that it's lined up nicely with the grooves here. We can then close the lid and push this down. May lead a bit of a wiggle, and then we can just keep turning the dial, taking a picture. This is just taking a couple of blank photos till we get to number 1 on the dial here. So that's how we load the Olympus Trip 35. It's quite easy to load. The only tricky bit can be getting this lined up and just pushing that down. But yeah, this is pretty much ready to go. I'm then going to show you how all the different buttons and dials work. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we've loaded onto our camera the correct ISO. What you want to make ssure is that you check on your box of film what ISO you've bought. So this one is 200 here. Sometimes it could be 400 or 100, and what you want to do is make sure that this dial here, and then you can turn the silver dial till you get round to the correct ISO. The Olympus Trip doesn't have autofocus, instead it uses zone focus. You've got these little icons on the lens which determine kind of what your subject or what photo you're going to take. If you're taking a photo of a portrait, you would turn your dial to the little person icon that's here. If you're taking a photo of someone or a group of people or one-on-one person, you can then turn your dial to, if you've got just 2 people, you can set it that, or if you've got a big group, then you can set your dial to that. If you're taking a photo of a scene, such as like a landscape, or if you do some street photography, then you may want to set it to the landscape or mountain icon here. This can take a little bit of getting used to, remembering to set your dial to the right subject. Because sometimes you may end up having it on the person, and then when you go to take the photo, you may notice that it's a little bit blurry. So sometimes it's good to just have it on the mountain if you're going around and just taking photos of nice scenes. Now usually you wouldn't touch the aperture ring that's here. Usually you would set it on auto, which is just set to here. Mine is a little bit, because it's an old camera, it doesn't quite set quite nicely. It will move about, so when I'm out taking a photo, I just need to make sure that it is set to A here. Because before, sometimes it's moved slightly and I've gone to take a photo and it's just a little bit out of focus. So making sure that your aperture ring is set to A, you're pretty much ready to go and shoot whatever subject you want. If you are shooting with a flash or your meter dies, you can then set your aperture to whatever you want. If you're shooting in a bright sunny day, then you may want to go for one of the 11 or 16 apertures, but if you're shooting in low light, then yeah, go for one of the lowest ones, probably 2.8 for your aperture. But leaving it on auto is probably the best thing to do. One of the quirkiest things about the Olympus Trip is their red flag system. And how that works is if you're going to take a photo and there isn't enough light, you'll see a little red flag that will pop up in the corner of your screen. So what you make sure is that usually if your settings are correct and you take a photo, you won't notice the red flag. But if that does appear, then it probably means that you're shooting in quite low light, or sometimes I've heard online that it could be if it's a very, very bright sunny day and it could be overexposed, then a red flag will pop up. It just means that your photo isn't going to be overexposed or really underexposed. It will shoot according to what settings you have set. That's pretty much all the settings for the Olympus Trip. It's a very simple and easy camera to use. It's one of my favourite. It looks nice, you can get it in different colours, which you can have a look online for. But yeah, this is such a great little camera, and I'm going to go out and take some photos with this and show you some photos that I've been taking. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.